Alright guys, it's me, Mr. Horath, and it's very early in the morning, but I'm going to show you how to use the 3D printer. Yay! And there's kind of two steps, or two parts to it that I'm going to try to show you. And the first step that I'm going to be trying to show you is how to get your idea kind of set up so that you can print it. Before I tell you that, the stuff I guess you would want to know about the 3D printer is that whatever you make, it's a little different than printing something on a piece of paper. When it comes out, even after you're done, there's kind of some final steps that take a lot of time to refine your idea. It'll have extra plastic attached that you have to cut off, and that can be kind of time consuming. And also, it's not as trouble-free as hitting print on a computer with a paper printer, because there's chances for all kinds of little things to screw up along the way, so it's somewhat hit or miss. But this is the general process. We start with Tinkercad, and you could really use anything, but Tinkercad is a website on the internet you can go to, tinkercad.com, and you basically just go there and set up a free account by putting in your email address. You can just use your school email, and once you log in, you can choose to look at, these are some old designs I had created for different things. If I click on any one of them, I can go back and I can edit it, but this was an idea of a box I was trying to build. I'm going to just for this real quickly create a new design to show you the basics, but you could watch a YouTube video or something and figure it out. It's very simple for the most part. Oh, this just froze and died. This whole process can be somewhat frustrating. If I use bad language, Miss Angel, will you edit it and post, just beep that out or something? Okay, good. So yeah, here we go. This is your plane, and you think of this basically like the flat tray that's in the printer. And so if I want to build something, like if I want to build a box, I'd select box over here, and I select the one that's solid. And they've got all these different shapes, whether it's text or spheres or cylinders or boxes. Once I select the box and I pick it, I can place this box anywhere I want on this plane, and I can change the size of it by selecting a corner. I can make it whatever size I want. Let's say I want it 50 centimeters or 50 millimeters by 50 millimeters. Once I have it there, I can go up in this upper section, which I think you can see. There's a little tiny cube, and I can either click on the top of the tube if I want to, top of the cube if I want a top view, or I can click on different sides of it if I want to see different sides. I can also grab the whole thing and swivel around like this. There's things like zooming in and zooming out. Basically, whatever you make, you have to make sure that it's seated directly onto the platform. If you print it and it's floating up in the air, even just a little tiny bit off the platform, you'll have problems, because the printer will start to print and then it's printing kind of in outer space and it's dropping things. So at least the base of your project needs to be seated exactly on the plane, and you can move it up and down. There's a little tiny arrow I'm using to grab to move things up and down. So if I want to make a hollowed out section, I'd select this thing that's kind of a grayed out box, and I drag it over here, and I can place it. And once I do, I basically can stretch it to whatever shape I want, and when I'm happy with it, I hit I don't know, some button, maybe return or something. What did I do to do that before? Oh, I remember. I think I select both objects. Let's try that. Oh yeah, I have to select both things. I have to select the clearish box and the solid box, and I did that by holding shift and clicking on both of the boxes. And once I do, I go up here and there's a little combine button, and I think that's what I was using to make it work. So I'm going to click the combine button, and when I do, what it did was it hollowed out the box for real. And so you build up all of your shapes kind of from hollowing out other shapes, and you can do that with cylinders and all kinds of stuff. So that's basically how Tinkercad works. When you've got something you like, You can title it up here. You can name it to whatever you want. This is a test, and then you're ready to print it. I guess the only other thing I should say is that when you go to print, you'll have to experiment a little bit. You don't necessarily want huge solid areas because this would all be full of plastic and it would use up tons and tons of plastic, because this is probably, if that's 5 or if that's 10 millimeters across, that's at least a centimeter of solid plastic, which would be really thick. So usually I'm printing things that have kind of thinner walls. It's kind of like I'm printing a shell usually. So to go print it, I go back to, well, I guess I could do, over here I can do export. Export, if I go up here and it says export and I click and it says download for 3D printing, I want to get an STL file, .stl. It's like snake, turtle, lizard. Yeah. So I downloaded it, and I think it went to my downloads, maybe. I don't know, where did it go? Miss Angel, do you know where it went? Let's try again. Export, download for 3D printing. And then where'd it go? Usually it does the, okay, let's try this way. We'll go back to my designs. We'll go to this is a test. Let's see if we can. This portion of the video is less exciting than all the other boring portions. Where's the, okay, is it up here? If I go to export.
Download.
Oh, there we go. You're right. Okay, so Mr. Howe for the rescue. Okay, so there's a little tiny thing. Yeah, it went into my downloads, I guess. So I just would drag this to the desktop or something. And what you'll see on the desktop, it's going to look like an image. It'll be a black and white picture of your file. And it'll say, this one says this is a test.stl. I'm going to double click on it. And when I open it up, it'll open up like a picture. If I just click on it, it'll open up like a GIF file or a JPEG. I need to open it in special software so that we can use it with the printer.
Can we stop?
Yeah, cool. Sorry, that was so boring.